a longtime Chicago sports personality and a former Badger Herald. I think he was my sports editor. I was just a peon writer, even though I'm older than him.
I was good. I was going to say, don't make me feel older than you.
No, you're not. You're not. We all know. I just turned 50 this month, so you're not there yet, are you?
No, I'm still under.
Man. Kevin Kaduk joins the show. Kev, how you doing, buddy?
Good. What's going on?
We're just bombarded by news of the Indiana state government and JB Pritzker. And we still I drove to O'Hare 2 days ago, and I'm still driving through Arlington Heights, and I'm like, why can't didn't the Bears just buy 700,000 million acres over there? Like, can't we build a stadium near Milwaukee, near Wisconsin? What the hell is going on, Kev?
It is a beautiful piece of land. I mean, it's the most perfect place of land in the Chicago metro area to build an entertainment center. But they can't get the Illinois politicians to dance, or at least not dance the way they want them to. So they're looking at a super fun site down in Hammond, Indiana. And I don't know if you know this, Mitch, but my parents are actually from the neighborhood right on the other side of the state line there.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was my older relatives all worked in the refineries. My dad and uncles worked in the steel mills to put themselves through college. It's a nice place to be from. I don't want the Bears there.
It's a fun place to go gamble, I think, right? There's casinos down there.
You can definitely do that. Maybe see, David Lee Roth on his, on his tour last year. I don't know if you saw those clips, but that's the kind of talent they're getting right now. Certainly a few cuts below the master that is Caleb Williams.
So Kevin, now what was your initial read? I know you obviously want to keep the Bears in Chicago, but it felt like we had heard so much news about the Chicago Bears and a potential move, but it's like we've heard this 100 times, right? It's reminiscent of Giannis is in trade talks, but he's never leaving, right? He's always going to be in Milwaukee. But now you read it for the first time yesterday, all signs pointing to Hammond Bears.
I'll believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see shovels in the ground. I'm 47 years old. I think as long as I can remember, the Bears have had these stadium issues because, people, feel like, oh, Soldier Field is like this old and classic place. They weren't supposed to be in Soldier Field a long time when they moved there in 1971 from Wrigley Field. And now it's been 60 years. And, but even when I was, 14, 15 years old, there was always a lot of speculation. Where would they go? Arlington Heights was named back then. Gary, Indiana was named back then. They came up with this renovation in 2002. It really hasn't stuck. To me, it's like the Bears have, they've always had a home, but not a home. And, it's the McCaskies aren't good business people by any means. They're people who, got lucky by being related to George Halas, who, he was a football pioneer. He was a great football coach. He was not a businessman. So I think you're seeing just a lot of that stuff just kind of snowball over the years. And now it kind of comes to this. And, it sucks. It's not fun. We're coming as a Bears fan, they're finally getting their football house in order where we kind of feel like we can be at least, on level punching ground with you guys. And now just, maybe be the butt of jokes as, their skyline is now a whole bunch of oil refineries and smokestacks. Not a great feeling.
I'm here for whatever happens between Pritzker and Braun. If this gets into some sort of whether it's a debate or a battle royal or anything in between the governors of the states, but how much of this is going to get political? How much of it are state representatives and others? I don't know who else. Obviously Chicago mayor, whoever it might be. How much of the politicians are they going to have a say in what happens with the Bears?
I mean, it's always political when you're talking about things on this level. A lot of the holdup is that the Chicago representation in the state legislature hasn't kind of gone along with the plans. They don't want to sign off on something that's going to benefit Arlington Heights and DuPage County. So, the other side of this is if JB Pritzker is going to run for president in 2028, which it kind of seems like he might be lining up to do. Do you think he wants, hey, he lost the Bears to Indiana on his record? And that's something, I mean, that's something that's going to resonate with every single voter.
I would use it against them. And it has nothing to do with whether you're from Illinois or not. Like, they're going to be in a debate in California and somebody's going to be like, dude, you lost the Bears to another state. How are you going? How are you not going to lose Hawaii to whatever country?
Biggest fleece since the Louisiana Purchase, right?
Exactly. But the thing is, like, you look at this and it's, there's been so many chapters in this. Oh, they're going to Arlington Heights. Oh, they're staying in Chicago. Oh, they're going to Gary. Oh, now they're back to Arlington Heights. So, like you asked the question before, Tommy, it's just like, I just don't. There's still so much more of this to be played. I feel like.
Absolutely. Kevin Kaduk joining us here on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. Let's get into some football talk then, Kev, because, obviously the Bears overachieved last year. You get your wish. It's the soundbite doesn't come back to bite you with Ben Johnson, as he loves beating Matt LaFleur twice in a year, even though I think Matt LaFleur just likes losing to Ben Johnson twice in a year more than it is anything else. But talk about last season and comparing it to where you think the Green Bay Packers are. And are you all in on Bears are back here and ready to compete year in and year out with Green Bay? Because the last 10 meetings before that, it felt pretty bleak.
Well, I think the offense is definitely there, and where Ben Johnson and Caleb took that from game 1 to game 18 or 19 was night and day. And had the Bears played the Packers earlier in the season, it might not have gone the same way. A lot of work to do on that defensive side of the ball, because I think you go up and down. There's a lot of older players that are cashing big paychecks and really not kind of doing the work. And the draft record on that side of the ball hasn't been stellar. So that's just, to me, that's really a lot of the work that needs to be done. Everyone down here is saying, well, it doesn't matter that we had so many turnovers and takeaways and that contributed to it. But if you look back in 2018, they had they led the league in takeaways that year. They did it in 2019 and fell. So I definitely foresee, something like that happening, but the Bears have never had a quarterback and coach like this before. So I think that's the reason for optimism. And, Caleb's still on that rookie contract. Rome Odunze's on a cheaper contract. They still don't have to pay Darnell Wright yet. So they have some flexibility if they can kind of make some cuts here and there and make some smart moves. It remains to be seen if they will.
Well, now, and you kind of just jogged me here. I have to interrupt. Will we ever have an NFL draft in Hammond, Indiana?
Oh my God, everybody! We could.
Man.
The casinos could host it.
No one thought Green Bay could do it.
It's like Biff Tannen's world, right? It's Biff Tannen's alternate Back to the Future 2 world.
That would be hilarious.
That would be. So the question I have is, looking at the success of the Bears this year and the number of fourth quarter comebacks, the number of comebacks with under 2 minutes left, and then seeing Ben Johnson's just bravado, especially with regard to the Packers. But is there any concern that, like, Ben Johnson could believe his own hype and could believe the Bears' hype for what they did this year, as opposed to taking a more measured approach and knowing that there's still work to do? Like, as good as the Bears were this year, like, they were not able to beat the Rams in a game they should have won. And there's still work to do.
I mean, the locker room clean-out press conference, he did not rest on his laurels at all. It was like, not good enough. We're starting back from block one. And that's, his message has been consistent. I know enough of the players to kind of know that they've bought in on that. It's, none of the grumbling we heard under, Flus or John Fox before him, or Matt Nagy before him. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the structure is there. They have the right people. Obviously, they're going to have a change in offensive coordinator. and a couple of coaching spots here and there. But I think Ben Johnson really has the power. It's not a Ryan Poles led Hallis Hall. Is a coach centric power structure now, and I don't think that's going to happen.
How would you rank the coaches in the NFC North in your mind, from your perspective, Kevin?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Tommy, you're so good at radio, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still a big. I mean, I'd have to say Ben Johnson just to be Homer, right?
Sure. Go ahead. You can
I
say
just
that.
don't know where I don't know where I'm at with Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
right? And I love Kevin O'Connell. Like,
I think we all think Kevin O'Connell went 9-8 with me and you at quarterback this year.
Right. So if I'm not being a homer, it's KOC up top. Then I would say Ben Johnson, and then Dan Campbell, Matt LaFleur. I mean, I like Matt LaFleur more than you guys like him. So
yeah, we don't. Yeah,
well, that's easy, but
yeah. I mean, is it easy to say it's the best four coaches in the league?
It probably is.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
You know, the NFC West is great, but they have the Cardinals, so it's like
was it the only
and the floor is at the bottom of that one.
Coach? That might be true.
Say it again.
They were the only division not to bring in a new coach this year. Right?
I think that's right.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that.
Kevin, who's going to win the NL Central this year?
I think I don't know.
You homer. You are such a homer.
Let's go.
This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna come out here and just pick Chicago everything. The
I don't know.
Cubs.
I mean, we know the Brewers, have a knack for outpacing Pacoda and what the computers think. So
that's for sure.
You always think this is where I guess we can both agree that the Cardinals are maybe dead and buried, and we can.
Oh God, it's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. I will say for the record, Rowan Council could not miss last night. Like she was on one last night. Now, granted, we blew out Homestead, so it's not that big of a deal. But we did get Whitefish Bay did get a number 1 seed in the D2 playoffs. So
my question for you guys is like, how much do you regret flying that L flag after the
0%, zero? And then cheese graters coming in? Yeah, absolutely not.
Right.
I'm flying 2 L flags next year, every single time.
Yeah,
that's what should happen. And if you're bothered,
that's a rivalry. That's fun.
Bothered by the cheese grater, I'm really not. Like, go ahead and do it. I'm not really a big fan of the cheese heads because if I'm sitting and someone has a giant cheese head in front of me, I'm going to be pretty annoyed. So if you want to go out and make a cheese grater for it, I mean. Honestly, it was the fair trade-off because the Brewers couldn't lose that series. Like they just could not. You had to win that one. And kind of like you guys, where you beat the Packers in the playoffs and it was your Super Bowl. In hindsight, it was kind of our World Series last year at that moment. Yeah. So Kevin Kaduk joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. I got just one more here for you. You still keeping up with the Badgers, Kevin? Then
big time.
We got 3 Badgers on the show now. Is this team just going to win the most impressive games and lose the most disappointing every single time they play?
Isn't this just the Greg Gard playbook, right? We're on the February hot streak, and we're ready to maybe win one game in the, but I need a Sweet 16 appearance like I need oxygen, man. Let's
totally
get on
agree.
That common ground.
Well, and we got I don't want to say we got used to them, but we got kind of used to the Sweet 16. Not every year, but a lot. Yeah.
I think the last time we hung out, Mitch, was at Madison Square Garden for the.
I think that's right.
Florida, right? Yeah.
Me, you, and Katie Holmes. Yeah, just hanging out. Yeah, just doing our thing at Madison Square Garden. Aaron Rodgers was in the house too.
Yeah.
For that one. Yep.
Yeah. Man. So we did the discount double.
Yeah. So we did the belt and. It ended brutally, that's for sure. Well, Kev, we got to run, but this has been great. We definitely want to catch up with you down the road as we get more into Brewers, Cubs, and any other Bears news, and we will keep you on speed dial, my friend.
Let's go. Anytime. Appreciate it.
All right. Go Badgers. Yeah. We can all agree on